Hey folks, welcome back to this week's review of our price action trading levels, this time for the week 28th of July to the 1st of August. We still have our existing highs and lows here in place. There was a bounce off this level here at 101.30 this is on USDJPY. If we put in a trend line down here, if it will let me put in a trend line, you can see how we're sitting at that trend line right now. So you could consider possibly a short down from this trend line if we see a decent bearish candlestick. Alternatively, if we see a break over this trend line and it retests it to try and come back, push back down under it, and it fails, then we can go long up to 102.73 level. So use this trend line here for the USDJPY. It's already bounced. It's at a level here around about 101.83. So you might see some price action coming down from here, or as I said, if it breaks through here, then look for it to push on up to 102.73. On EURAUD, you can see a level here at 134.81 has been broken well and truly. Came back and retested it, and now it's on the drop down. So see if we get a pull back up to this level at 134.81. So looking for shorts, possibly 135 to go short at. If we keep pushing down, then your next level to pay attention to is 132.86, possibly the 133 level. Around about here, but see if it comes back up when the market opens and retests this level here. If it does and gives a bearish candlestick, then trade it short back down to 132.86. If we break back over here, wait for the break followed by a retest before you consider taking a long, because this is quite a good downward trend here that's going on at the moment. So wait for it to retest this level before trying to go long on this pair. With GBPUSD, you can see here we're right at the level now when the market closed on Friday, 169.72. So we'll be looking for bullish candlesticks here. If we get them, then we can take a long position back up here, hopefully heading for 171.62. We've got to wait for that bullish candlestick before entering the market though. You can see what happened here. It had resistance here, broke it, found support. It's come back down to the same support level just here. So that's why we're looking for a bullish candlestick here. If we get a break under here, then look for the break and the retest before you go short back down to 167.38. This is pretty much your next zone that you want to be worrying about, all the way down here. So it'd be nice to see a break. It'd be nice to see a break and then a retest to get short, because this is quite a nice distance that the price could travel. So that's GBPUSD. Similar view at GBPJPY, strangely enough. You can see here, looking back, we had resistance, broke the resistance here, became support, and it's come all the way back down here to 172.71, where it's found support again. Now, some people call these doji candlesticks reversal signals, but for me they're not strong enough. They're just showing indecision in the market. I'm looking for a nice bullish candlestick, hopefully engulfing all of these candles here, all these 6 candles here, to show us that the price is actually going to bounce off this level and go bullish, or a nice bullish hammer, something like that, a pin bar with a nice wick down here. Something like that would be convincing enough to go long, but on these dojis, no. So I'm looking for a nice bullish engulfing here to go long on this pair. On a break, as I've said on GBPUSD, you've got to wait for it to break, come back and retest the 172.71 level, and then you go short with a pending order where the candle broke and bounced to retest this level. So it's got to break and retest before we can consider going short. Don't go short here just because it breaks the zone. If it goes short down here, then you're looking for a 169.80 as a target. If it goes long from here, then you're looking up at 175.21. Over at NZDUSD, again we've got another nice level here, 85.33. You can see here support, support, support. It's broken it, found support just here, and it's broken back down to this support level again. So we'll be looking for a bullish candlestick to take us up out of here, back up in the first instance to 86.64, and then be nice to move on to 87.80 in extension from that. And I would say this is quite a good spot because this looks like a 61.8 retracement level here as well of this previous move up. So let me just put on the Fibonacci tool here, and you can see it's at the 61.8 level here right now. So if we see an exit from here, then it's possible that it's going to move up quite nicely back up in this direction. If we see the break under here, then obviously you're trading back down to 83.82, somewhere around about here, but we need to see the break confirmed by a retest before going short. At EURJPY, you can see here this support level just here, 136.59. See, there was kind of a bullish candlestick just here, but you had this small resistance area just here, which the price actually failed to break through. So obviously for this I'm looking for a nice bullish candlestick that actually breaks over this zone just here. Let me just put that in here. See the way it's held under here, it's in this tight range. So you've got to be looking for a break over 137 before considering to go long here. A bullish candlestick just in here probably isn't going to cut it, looking at the way the previous price action has gone on. So look for a break over 137 before going long on EURJPY. Short, obviously, if we break under here, then look for the retest to come back down short with this long-term trend. This is what's caused this to happen. It's because it's hit this support level just here. Because this trend, it's then started to go sideways, because some people are trying to get long out of the support level, and some people are obviously still trying to sell it. So the buyers and the sellers get balanced, which is why you get the sideways price action. It's only when you get the breaks that you get the imbalance in either the buyers or the sellers. So obviously to give us a green candle that breaks 137, you've got to have more buyers than sellers, and then everybody will catch on to the idea, and off we go back up in this direction. So keep an eye on this here for the 137 level and see what happens if it comes back up to that level. Aussie dollar here, still stuck in the mud. It had a go at breaking this level last week and it failed. As I said in last week's video, look for a break, then a retest before going long. You can see it broke, but when the retest occurred, it broke back down under it. So it's still stuck in this sideways range. So I will be looking to go long at 93.30 for this one. So it's got to come down a little bit. Look for a bullish candlestick out of 93.30 to trade it back up to 94.13 in the first instance. If we get a retest of this level at 94.31, then look for a bearish candlestick to trade this back down short. But right now it's stuck in the mud. It's not really doing anything. So that's the plan for this one. Just wait for your levels on this 93.30 and see what happens if the price gets down here. If it breaks over the 94.31 with a bit of conviction, then as I said last week, wait for the break and then a retest and let this level show that it's actually turned into support before you take a long position out of here. AUDJPY still on the sideways move, just similar to Aussie dollar actually. This one's showing us a level here. See all this support here, these support levels. This is showing us a level of 95.27, which will be the 50% retrace of this previous move up, as well as being a support level. So look for that 95.27 to go long on AUDJPY. Wait for a proper bullish candlestick before you do that. If it breaks, then you're aiming down at 94.50, 94.49 level, and in extension 93.61 if this is going to turn into a downtrend just here, coming all the way down here. On USDCAD, you can see here this is a support level here, support just here, and from what we've learned in our price action trading course, we know that on a lot of occasions previous support areas turn into resistance. So you've got this level here, 1.0830, to pay attention to, which the price is getting up to. So we would look for a bearish candlestick down from this level here to trade this back down short, in the first instance to 1.070, and then pushing down to 1.05848. If we push on over this level, then obviously it's not holding as resistance, so you'd look for the price to break, come back down and use this support level again before going long. So you wait for a bullish candlestick here to take you long back up to 109.42 in the first instance. Now EURAUD, you can see this trend line was eventually broken. If we zoom out on the chart a little bit here, you can see this level just here. You can see it offered really good support just here, and this level is at 1.4121. So this is the level I'm looking for. Looking for the price to find 141.21 and then a bullish candlestick to allow us to trade this back up, somewhere back up to this, either to this trend line or back up to 145.37. But you've got to wait for this one to find its support level here, which is 141.21. At AUDNZD, you can see where the price is right now. I'm just going to mark that level in, just in here, 1.0172. You can see here this massive candle here from the Aussie news last week, and it's found resistance at this spot here, which is, you know, pretty normal. So you're looking for a bearish candlestick in here to trade this back down, if we're going to be trading this back down to 108.91 in the first instance. If we break over this level, then obviously this here is resistance, so you want to see it break over and see if this resistance here turns into support just here before you go long to continue this uptrend back up to 1.1210. So we're at an interesting level here on AUDNZD, but it may, I've got a feeling this is going to go sideways, similar to how it did here, for at least a couple of days before we see any breaks above it or any drops back down from the level we're at right now. So moving on to the news for next week. Monday 4 PM pending home sales, Tuesday 4 PM CB consumer confidence. These can move the charts, but not as much as what's going to be coming up later on in the week. If we look at Wednesday, 2:15 ADP non-farm employment change. Now if you remember back to last month, we had a previous of 281k, which I think was around about 80k better than they expected, and that moved the EURUSD in the correct direction. In fact, it moved all the USD pairs in the correct direction. And then 8 PM on the same day we got the FOMC statement, which of course you don't trade around. You don't mess with these boys when you're trading at all. But what we did see, if you look later on in the week, on Friday, you have the non-farm employment change, which also came in last time at 288k, which was again in line with what the ADP said, and the actual charts moved in the correct direction that was predicted by the ADP non-farm on the Wednesday. So keep an eye on this. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because the ADP is a lot better than expected, then the non-farm payrolls is going to come in a lot better than expected, but it's certainly worth keeping an eye on, especially if you're in a trade and you're you know, you're up plenty of pips and you've got your stop moved, etc., to break even. So it may be worth paying attention to these two announcements. So on Wednesday, the ADP non-farm, and then followed on Friday by the actual non-farm employment change. Pay attention to those two events. That's Wednesday and Friday. So that's it for this week's price action trading levels and our quick look at the news. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to the channel, send us a message, or click the like button, and we'll see you next week.